Oh shit, I gotta pay this fucking bill. Yeah, this is part of the after show. Hell yeah, dude, that shit literally just hit me. I need to pay this Spreaker bill. Anyway, what the fuck is up? This is the after show. Sorry it's been a minute, but I've been doing comedy. I've been rocking mics. Let me tell you about it. I haven't done any new animation or anything like that. I ain't gonna lie. I honestly don't even fucking miss it. Maybe that was too harsh. Maybe that was too real, too sudden. But with all due respect, I did put out my Spreaker and nobody wants that. We trending in Fiji. Man, this podcast is gonna be fire. I feel it right before I go to work. So, let's see. I've been doing sets on sets on sets. I haven't been doing after shows. But the majority of my sets have gone pretty well. I've done this one set. I had a couple people rolling. And then on top of that, there was some really pretty women that I should have just started getting their phone numbers to instead of getting their Instagrams and shit. Listen, these jokes are rolling. Okay? I figured it out. I figured comedy out to a certain degree. I figured out a small part. There's always room for growth in everything, so I can't say I figured out comedy. But I figured out, I have a small grasp of what comedy is. There we go. Damn, hell yeah. And with that being stated, I've been, honestly, my sets have been all right. I had a crowd of but let's talk about the bad. How about that? So there's this dude that I've been trolling for a while who owes me fucking money. And I've been trolling him. And I trolled it. I caught a rare sighting of this nigga a couple Sundays ago, and I started trolling the shit out of him. And he ended up not giving me my money yet. So I saw him this past Sunday, and I was about to troll the shit out of him again. I think he knew it was coming, too. I think he knew it was coming. Because I was like, what? And I was like, thank you, God. So, with that being stated, the homie goes, hey, man, I don't have your money right now. I have it in a couple weeks. And so he was like, oh. So I was like, oh, okay. I said, okay, so he says, instead of that, I'll bump you. And I was like, oh, shit, my first bump. So, long story short is I get really high, but I think that played an effect because my material is great. I only got to get to all-time awesomeness. Anyway, with that being stated, so I started telling the jokes and nobody fucking laughed. And I was like, oh, damn. It was like I've never really considered myself a bomb. Maybe the first couple times, yeah, but bombing, that was my first true bomb. How about that? That was my first true bomb. I'm not trying to, my sets generally go okay. And for me, that's all right, I'm getting better. But because compared to these other people's sets, they're let me tell you something. I need to get my body cam working more. You know what I'm saying? That hoe broke. That's why I don't have more material out there. But with that being stated, I was talking and I just bombed. Man, this burger fucking shrank. Oh. Good. So I bombed bad, and I was like, dude, these jokes are either shockingly, quietly people, which means I'm not bombing. They're They just know it's so fucked up to not laugh. Or I was like, man, this joke, I'm bombing. Like I went off stage and I questioned my whole word. I was like, dude, I never deserve to be bumped again, no matter what. I should probably like question comedy. I mean, granted, it happens, but let me tell you something. Constant ass whooping should tell you something. That's all I'm saying. And I was like, man, that was bad. Like, that was bad. Speaking of bad, I'm going to detour off and come back. So I had the conversation with a couple more comics, and they don't know if they would rather be knocked out or booed. This all has to do with comedy. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, dude, I'd rather be booed. I've been knocked out before. I've been hit and my legs gave out for a couple seconds from a punch. How about that? That's knocked out and I've been knocked out. Either way, it's not a good feeling. So with that being stated, you know, definitely booed. They were like, I don't know. They was like, but it equates to the same thing mentally. Or I can see why, but there's definitely more damage to be done when you get knocked out, bro. Fuck all that. And believe me, there's like 4 more pro fighters that back this statement up and all this shit. It was like, dude, we'd definitely rather get booed off stage. I was like, dude, I'd rather get booed off stage. Fuck all that. And I was glad that I didn't cave into the peer pressure and be an accept me guy. Like, oh, no, I'd rather get knocked out. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not you. You're not me. We feel the same. We feel differently. And I'm not going to, fuck getting knocked out. But anyway, that being stated, so, oh, you know what? It's probably why. Because it's motherfucking steaming and shit. Don't put the cover over it. Press it on and grease it. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, so I get up there and I just bomb. And I was like, so long story short is these comics are talking and they were talking about a comedy contest. And I was like, oh, what comedy contest? And they're like, something. And I was like, well, with the way I performed tonight, I probably shouldn't be doing comedy. They said, oh, no, it's okay, man. You just need to speak up. And I went, are you fucking serious? That's it? Dude, I was questioning my whole life. I did a really good set at this one spot, man. I had this one dude rolling. Listen, my jokes ain't for the faint-hearted, but my jokes hit like a fucking sucker punch of amazement and awesome and awe. My jokes. But I'm still working on it. Like, I'm still working on the premise of it because I just freestyle it. Like, I just told the joke so I could... When I told these jokes, I only told them so I could be the first ones to tell them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm going to tell my own original shit. But when I told you know what I'm saying? When I told what the fuck was that? Anyway, so, yeah, jokes are getting, like, they're all just, like, I've never really sat down and had the whole premise. Now, the one joke that I'm working on is actually a part 2 to it. I'm going to figure out how to work part 2 into it. Because I got bits. I just need to make them longer. You know what I'm saying? I got bits. I just need to make them longer. So, yeah, and I figured out, that I think my bits are at least like, quite a few minutes. Matter of fact, I actually have 20 minutes worth of material. I realized that. So here's what I was really getting at. This was what I was really wanting to talk about. So I feel like I got material. So here's what I've done before. So when there's nobody around, sometimes I tell jokes to an open, nobody-ass crowd. I've done this at least like 3 times for sure. Because the third time, or at least the second time, was like last week. So peep this. So this is what I really want to talk about. And I don't know why I didn't record it or no shit like that. But even still, if I record it, I don't want it to. I got one stand-up out there. And not even going to lie, I know people like it. I'm still contemplating taking it down. I'm going to make executive executive, not even just executive, but this executive move to take it down, take the comedy down, is almost like an executive move I've never done because it has a lot of popular likes. You know what I'm saying? So with that being stated, but I don't really care about likes like that or people's approval. It's, it's just the fact that it's like, should I keep it up? I still debate that. But here's the thing. So there was an open mic before ours. No, there was a show before the open mic on a Tuesday, and it ended early. So the whole fucking crowd left, right? When they could have stayed. Matter of fact, I think there was a girl that I spoke to that would have stayed if the show didn't end so early. That's what I'm saying, because I spoke to her. And I gave this girl, I spoke to her, and she was like, hey, what's this line for? And I was like, the open mic, this, that, and the third. And I was like, she would have stayed. There's a part 2 to that story. But, this is more about, because I was like, oh, this is the open mic. She's like, oh, okay. She seemed very interested. But the open mic but the show ended like 15 minutes early or some shit like that. It ended like a whole... Early. I'm talking about like the open mic starts at like, a certain time, and that show usually ends within like 10 minutes before the host goes up. So people can still have the option. I don't know to describe it. So the show usually ends, and then like the open mic starts like 10 minutes later. Right. So there's a bridge and gap for people to come through, because usually the show will say there's an open mic. This show just closed. Anyway, so I just started telling jokes into an empty crowd for like 15 minutes. A couple people are sitting there, and a couple comics are sitting there. And to those comics that are sitting there, I think his name is HT Texas on his Instagram. Appreciate you sitting there. I followed another guy, but here's the thing. I started telling jokes. I just started warming up. I was like, man, fuck that. I want to do comedy. Plus, I was first. So I just said, fuck that. I'm just start doing comedy. I don't care who's here. I just want to warm up. I just want to tell comedy. That's the whole bit of doing comedy. So I just started telling jokes for like 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I did it was like a whole 15 minutes till midnight. It was something like that. And I don't know. I just started doing jokes. And then the host flags me off, and then I get to come back on, and so I did 20 minutes, and then the 15 minutes was like freestyle, right? And then the 5 minutes was just the shit I had rehearsed, and I was like, I did that. I fucking did that. Yeah, I did. Everything. I was like, yeah, I did. I had to apologize to this one lady after this set. I was like, yeah, I didn't mean to call you a bitch like that. I definitely didn't mean that. I definitely wasn't calling you a bitch. It was just humor. She was like, it's fine. But she like grabbed me, and I wasn't trying to like hit on this lady. I was just trying to apologize. My material is crude, but it's just funny. She was like, don't change yourself. Some shit like that. Keep doing you. Something like that. So some dude named Matt Jolly Rogers, shouting him out, he said, hey, we got another banger for you. Give it up for Renegade I Am. I was like, dude, he just called me a banger. Oh, relishing that title. I'm a banger. Only getting better, though. Only getting better. But yeah, I told like 15 minutes worth of comedy. I was like, man, I did that. I always wondered. I didn't even pause or no shit like that. I started ranting shit. I didn't go, I didn't do a bunch of or no shit. I just started talking shit. And I was like, man, I did that. Listen, I can do that. And no, they were actually solid shit. Some of that, okay, it wasn't solid. Now I'm capping. I'm sorry. But it made a few people laugh. I did this one spontaneous joke out of nowhere. And it had people laughing. And I was like, oh, okay. So somebody told me So right before I was gonna do my set earlier, somebody told me, they was like, yeah, man, Renegade AM, he definitely runs off all the chicks with his jokes. And I went, what? It was like, because the thing is they was like, oh no, we were just kidding. I was like, no, bro, that shit's not funny. Like, because my goal is to bring people together. Like, I know I don't, and we're not, I'm not trying to stop other people from getting laid if I can't get laid. You know what I'm saying? That's, and my jokes are not meant to stop you from getting laid. But I've told jokes before, and after I tell jokes, people get up and leave. I don't even know if it's because of disgust. Hopefully not. But when they said that, they tried to like JK it. They was like, oh, and then they started making me feel fucking bad about the shit. I was like, dude. Like, they were like, oh, JK. I was like, nah, bro. I'm sorry. They was like, yeah, man, I haven't gotten laid in like a year because of you. So I was like, oh, bro. Like, real talk. I've seen people get up and walk out because of after my set. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because I offend them or they're just done sitting there, but it's happened a few times and I remember one comic was like, he tried to tell me something about myself. I was like, nigga, I'm not going to listen to the fuck shit you said. Anyway, he's like, hey man, don't tell that joke anymore like that because it's gonna stereotype us, and then some lady's gonna think I'm like that. And I was like, shut your dude. I was like, I almost stayed away from that nigga, bro, because I was every time I'm around this nigga trying to tell me what to do, trying to frame me into something. I'm off the hinges with my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to end it with this. This is the Turns Means Universal after show. After show. After show. After show. After show. So, with that being stated, so there's this really popular comedian around town. And, as comedians, we have the ability. Well, I don't know if I consider myself a comedian. I'm sorry. I consider myself a content creator. As a content creator, my goal is to keep your attention, even when you're telling stories. This is kind of like when a master is walking around on the street and somebody like throws a jab at his face and he gets jabbed, and then the dude goes, "Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Nah, man, I got you. You're supposed to be the all-time master." So this is one of these moments. So this nigga starts telling this fucking story. And I was kind of listening, right? This has to do with comedy. So this guy is really popular, too. So he starts telling this story. And I was like, oh, yeah, really? Because a little part of me was like, I wanted to tell my story first. That's why I don't remember what the fuck he said. But I started catching bits and pieces of it, and then I started putting it together. So maybe I just contradicted myself in this fucking story. But we're going with the after show, and I'm not editing shit out. But I ended up catching his story, and I ended up catching the end of it. And I was like, you know what, bro? I said the first time, I said, I'm glad he kind of said that. Because I waited a couple seconds. I said, you know what, I'm glad. I forgot after. Okay, so he finished the story, and then I guess, I don't even remember, 10, 15 seconds later, I don't know. I said, you know what, I'm kind of glad he ended the story with that punchline, because otherwise, I was going to say that was a stupid ass fucking NPC story. And then I said, yeah, man. And then I said it because he didn't hear it. But the one dude heard it and he started laughing. But he wasn't laughing because I said it necessarily. He was laughing because this dude is good at comedy. So he knows better than to walk around telling these stories that don't have no fucking ending to it, is what I'm getting at. You get what I'm saying? You know better. As content creators, we can see the NPCs in people sometime. You know what I'm saying? Comics are NPCs. Are you crazy? I asked this comic what he did today. He was like, nothing, chill. NPC shit. So what I'm getting at is A comic of that stature telling a stupid ass. And if he had told a stupid ass story, I was gonna fucking say that. But I did say that. I was like, man, I'm glad. This time he heard it. I said, man, I'm glad you ended that story with that punchline. Otherwise, bro, that was a stupid motherfucking NPC story that you just fucking told. And he bust out laughing. And he said, yeah, I like this guy. He knew better. I was like, yeah, bro. I was going to say, man, you made us sit through that stupid ass fucking NPC story, bro. You better do I said something like that. I think I said the second one. I was about to say, yeah, man, you made us sit through that stupid ass fucking NPC ass story, bro. NPC ass story, nigga. Nah, it was actually a good punchline, but the fact that he had drawn it out so long. Don't do that. Don't do that. I will call your story boring. I will call your story boring. I will call your story boring. With that being stated, Turnage means motherfucking motherfucking virtual after show after the comedy show. Comedy after show. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.